Sounds good.
Good evening, everyone. This is the ASQ Innovation Division. Tonight, bringing you Priyank Patel with impact of AI on manufacturing and quality assurance in medical devices and pharmaceuticals. Priyank is a vetted ASQ expert across many different divisions and is responsible for conferences and content and standards, etc. He's going to do his own introduction, but please help us welcome him to our ASQ Innovation Technical Community virtual stage tonight, Mr. Priyank Patel.
Thank you very much, Dr. Rhonda, for the warm welcome. Hi, everyone. My name is Priyank. I am here to discuss some of my insights on AI, how it's revolutionizing manufacturing and quality assurance in the medical devices and pharmaceuticals industry. So let's jump into it. So if you see a picture here, this is just like an AI generated picture, which shows like what we are hoping for, what AI would be in the future for like either as a robotic device, medical device, or a smart pill that you will use for medicines. So let's jump into my bio. I'm a senior robotics quality expert working in the medical devices industry. I'm a senior IEEE member as well as I'm a ASQ member working with several divisions, as Dr. Rhonda mentioned. I am interested in surgical robotics, medical devices, quality 4.0, and industry 4.0. A lot of these are very hot topics right now, so we will touch a few areas into this during our presentation here. Today's agenda would be, we would go through the industry overview for medical devices and pharmaceutical. We will jump into like what value does manufacturing and QA cross functionalities bring to these industries, and then we'll jump into how AI is being integrated into medical devices, as well as what are the benefits that are coming out of it. Then we will jump into some integration examples of pharmaceuticals, how AI is revolutionizing that field, as well as what benefits we are seeing in that industry. At the end, we will also look what are the main challenges that companies are facing currently, even while implementing it, or even when assessing what the end benefits are before jumping into like utilizing various AI tools or AI powered tools. And then at the end, we will close with the future outlook. So the first thing, what are these industries? The medical devices and the pharmaceutical industries are the backbone of healthcare industry. These are the ones which innovate every year, and hence they've come up with very innovative solutions that help resolve the pain of the patients or make their lives better. Healthcare industry is a huge industry, but this industries, in particular medical devices and pharmaceutical, are expected to grow at a rate of 3.3% CAGR for medical devices and 5.5% CAGR for pharmaceuticals. These are very innovative industry, and it requires intensive capital year on year. So growing at this rate does benefit eventually with such investment. What is the medical device industry? So give me 1 second. Sorry, I have something is messing up. Okay, yeah, my bad. So medical device industry, in the medical device industry, any instrument, software, or tool that is used for diagnosing or treating or preventing, or even just monitoring, like your Apple Watch, it's monitoring your blood pressure. So such devices are, I wouldn't call your Apple Watch as a medical devices, but such devices which even monitor are called medical devices. And some of the specific areas where they are providing value is respiratory, cardiology, orthopedic, diagnostic imaging, uh, endoscopy, and ophthalmology devices. Within the pharmaceutical industry, any drug or medicinal product that is developed, manufactured, or used for the diagnosis, treatment, and prevention or cure of diseases in humans or animals. An example of this would be prescription drug, over-the-counter drugs, biologics, generic drugs, or vaccines. This is another AI-generated image of a professional working in a pharmaceutical lab, trying to find that specific new drug that would help patients. So we will jump into like what value does manufacturing and QA bring to this industry? As we all know, these industries are very critical industry. They are highly regulated industries. So what, excuse me, what is the main value that the manufacturing cross-functional and the QA cross-functionals brings into this industry? So the first thing is safety. Any of the solutions that are launched within the medical device or the pharmaceutical industry needs to be safe. That's the number one thing that any regulatory agency looks for. The second thing is effectiveness. If something is safe but not effective, it would never get approved. If something is effective but not safe, even that would not add value to this industry. So at minimum, the two pillars that you need to uh, prove are safety and effectiveness for any devices. And what like the compliance to the regulatory bodies, I think that is the critical pillar as well, because uh, FDA agencies like FDA and the EU MDR, they ensure that whatever products you are launching or manufacturing in your day-to-day activities, like they are safe as well as effective for the general population to use. There is a tool called benefit risk analysis that is utilized for ensuring that a product or a device or a medicine is safe and effective for the use of the general public. Here we assess that the benefits are highly valuable than the risk that comes with a certain solution. And certain regulatory agencies are US FDA and the EMA, which highly regulates this environment. So what value does actually QA and manufacturing brings here? The goals of the QA within this are detecting the issues early on. And in any product development, uh, there is a lot of testing that happens, and QA leads the verification testing as well as engineering testing to make sure that any defects that are potential are identified as well as resolved during the new product development. Uh, Another goal of QA is to ensure that the regulatory compliance is always maintained. Uh, there are instances of significant actions by various regulatory agencies on existing medical devices and pharmaceutical companies whenever they have been identified as going out of regulatory compliance. They have been issued fines, as well as some of them they go under consent decree where they have to shut down their plants, and then after years of hard work they are allowed to continue again with the manufacturing. Maintaining trust. Healthcare is a very critical industry, and the trust in healthcare would only be maintained if the trust in medical devices or the medicines that are used to power the healthcare industry is there. So QA does provide adequate value in maintaining trust. What are the goals of manufacturing? The goals of manufacturing are to make sure that whatever solution comes up into these industries ensures consistency as well as scalability. Any new solution, when it's in new product development, when it's for low volume, uh, you might not see a lot of issues then, but once you scale, manufacturing has to be very creative into using new technologies, new tools to make sure that any scaled manufacturing processes are still safe and consistent. Another goal of manufacturing is to ensure that this life-saving solutions, once they are designed and approved, there is consistent and timely delivery of these solutions. A major disturbance that we had seen in the recent past was during COVID, when a lot of supply chain uh, disruption happened, as well as a lot of plants were not able to get their raw materials or not get enough workers. So that was a tough time, and manufacturing did step up all over the world to support wherever they can. Like non-medical device companies also started utilizing or converting their plants uh, for medical devices, and uh, it was a very consistent effort. So manufacturing is very critical in ensuring that the healthcare system is up and running. This is an example of AI generated smart factory. So Industry 4.0, I think that's a very hot topic right now. Uh, it's Industry 4.0 is not being implemented at the scale that people had hoped, but going forward, like the concept of smart factory and Industry 4.0, this is what uh, is expected from the industry. It won't be exactly something like this where it's all robots, but like there will be a lot of sensors and data based on which the product will be making its own flow, and even like low volume custom products will have a shorter manufacturing time because all the manufacturing processes will be integrated through sensors and data. So let's jump into what is AI. Where did it originate from? So artificial intelligence, it was a term coined by emeritus standard professor uh, John McCarthy in 1955. What he mentioned at that time for AI to be was the science and engineering of making intelligent machines. Another definition of this is cross-disciplinary method of comprehending, modeling, and producing intelligence in many forms. So why do we need AI? Why can't we just utilize whatever we have currently and continue down the path? There are some limitations that we have in our current processes, which we all want to improve upon as part of our continuous improvement processes. So the first limitation is the sampling plans that we use currently, and also the manual inspections. They are quite slow. Like I think most of you might relate with this, where there might be batches of products that are manufactured and sitting on quality inspections to be released so that they can send it out into the field. On one side, it is important that those product gets inspected and we only send out the good product into the field. But on the other side, if we can just reduce that time in quality inspections, that would just provide so much value and real time release of batches as soon as the production is completed. So that's one of the motivating factor in using AI powered processes, where it automates the processes and detects the issues in real time. So you don't have to assign separate quality inspection time, and you can have real time release of batches. Another example of why or what value AI would bring is traditional manual processes. It's prone to human error, and this human error it's more tied to fatigue. When after a few hours of work, any person would be prone to making certain percentage of error. So if AI based systems are used which are immune to fatigue and emotion, that helps increase the throughput of either manufacturing or inspection both. Uh, Manual processes are most of the times reactive. As as a as a prime example of the supply chain disruption of COVID, right? Like the world did not realize how big of an issue it was until it reached the end manufacturing unit where things are assembled together. It was not detected at the source, at the raw materials, where it could have been controlled in a better way. So utilizing AI powered processes where you can be more proactive than reactive, that adds significant value to these processes. I'm just moving from sections. Let me know, Dr. Ronda, if there are any questions that we need to take in between. So let's jump into the medical devices in integration with AI, and what are some of the use cases that companies across the globe are currently utilizing to either improve efficiency or reduce defects. The main use of AI is in the product design and development. Quality assurance as part of product design and development has the goals to make sure that we create new innovative solutions as well as they are safe to use, safe and effective to use. So one of the benefit of using AI in new product development is to fast track certain processes as well as create certain features that will add more value to the end user. So one such example is Boston's Children's Hospital. They have used simulation to create patient-specific 3D heart models for surgical planning. Another such example is product customization and personalization. Uh, if any of you might have been shopping for a new toothbrush recently, you would notice that your toothbrush is now able to be integrated into your phone's app, and it collects data as you use the toothbrush, and then it recommends an optimized cycle uh, for your daily use. Automation of production lines. This is the most valuable thing that AI brings for manufacturing as well as quality. Industry 4.0 and digital twin are two very promising concepts, which a lot of industry leaders have already started implementing, but the larger industry is still lagging into its implementation. So industry 4.0 is a term where you are utilizing IoT devices to capture as much data as possible and utilize that data to optimize whatever your goals are, either optimizing your real-time monitoring or optimizing uh, the waste in your production. And digital twin is a tool that helps enormously in that. So digital twin is basically a of digital du- it's a digital representation of the same physical product but in the digital world. So it takes into data of various sensors of that physical product, and then it utilizes that to make either predictions or to take real time action. So predictive maintenance is also one of the benefits of digital twin, since it is heavily relied on the sensors. So medical devices in itself are significantly expensive, and a lot of them are capital equipments such as the heart lung machine or surgical robots. So traditionally the predictive maintenance on such equipment has been static maintenance, where it's defined by the number of cycle usage. But now these products are getting more intelligent, where certain sensors are being installed within these products, which continuously gives the performance and the health of this device back to the company. And based on the performance of the device and using the data that comes out of the sensors, uh, the servicing is becoming more dynamic rather than static, and they are using preventative maintenance, which is more dynamic. Supply chain optimization. So this is also another uh, end effect that has been like very much promising, as well as a lot of companies are currently using it based on various supply chain disruptions and lean, where it has brought enormous value, but the single strand supply chain are sometimes are at the risk of severe disruption. So AI and lean, if integrated together, that resolves the significant disruption risk, and utilizing real-time data to identify a disruption at the source immediately, that uh, would resolve it sooner and not leading it to becoming a huge disruption at the end client. Accelerating clinical trials and regulatory approvals. This is also one of the main integration case point for medical devices. As these are highly regulated industries, clinical trials need to be performed and proven that the products are safe and effective. If we use AI based simulation technologies for your verification testing or validation testing in the clinical trials, that provides additional confidence, and you can complete the same clinical trial in a shorter time rather than weeks or months that are normally needed. Computer vision and machine learning. So this, I would say, this is the lowest hanging fruit for integrating AI into any industry. So this is something that is low risk but high reward. This is like a lot of companies, they have Keyence vision system or some other vision systems, and they are integrating the AI directly with those vision systems to utilize its full capability and detect surface defects such as scratches, dents, cracks, even dimensions to a certain extent. And this is all possible due to the benefits of AI-based system. AI assisted testing. So this is mainly targeted towards verification testing of new products, uh, where you have to do preclinical testing to make sure that whatever requirements you wanted to verify, you are able to successfully verify it. And a lot of times companies create fixtures to verify such testing, and including AI within those fixtures optimizes the testing and adds more confidence in it. Real-time monitoring and analytics. This is again, this is becoming very popular, as well as this is possible because of digital twin and industry 4.0. As the sensors have become much more affordable and scalable, that's how you are able to take as much data as possible and utilize that data and integrating into your analytics and have a real-time monitoring, be it your manufacturing equipment or be it your product. This is revolutionizing the medical device industry. Another area of integration is the streamlined documentation and reporting process. I'm pretty sure most of you would be using ChatGPT. So large language models have definitely revolutionized this area of the medical device industry, where you can either utilize a specific tool, such as there are several tools available for AI supply chain audit, where you would feed in all the documentation from a certain supplier, and it would give you an audited report in few minutes, rather than uh, previously the audits taking few weeks to even months sometimes. And still you wouldn't, in traditional methods, you wouldn't have explored 100% or even more than 90% of your supply documentation. You utilize sampling in traditional audits, whereas here, with the power of AI, you can target more than 90% of sampling rather than uh, minimal sampling. Data driven decision making. As more and more amount of data becomes available, AI utilizes this data and helps to improve the manufacturing process. Like companies are utilizing uh, their legacy data, that's years and years of data. They are utilizing that to come up with the optimized process parameters. Previously it was not possible because the statistics tools that we were using were did not have that much capability, as well as nobody had that much resources to invest somebody to go and uh, scrape all the data from historical uh, uh, DHRs or databases. But now with the advent of AI, you can scrape that data from scanned spreadsheets or scanned documents and utilize that data to come up with the most optimized manufacturing process. Jumping onto the medical device benefits, with all the use cases that we just discussed, as you saw, there are lots of benefits that are coming out of this, and uh, it's revolutionizing the medical device industry. So the first and foremost is the efficiency and productivity. A lot of companies, they are utilizing tools to improving their development timelines. Competition is the key. So the faster you can create a new innovative solution, the higher the chances you are that you will be able to satisfy your user, as well as you would be able to take market share. So companies are currently utilizing AI to reduce their development time as much as possible, as well as improving financially by reducing cost, where they don't have to do actual physical testing, and they can use simulation tools to do testing, as well as increase the number and frequency of testing, as physical testing can only be done uh, by for a certain amount of time due to the cost and time restrictions, whereas simulations can be done with each iteration of your engineering changes. Early detection of defects and anomalies. So this is a case study by that is presented on a global partners website, and it shows that one of the contract manufacturer in USA had utilized AI powered tools, and they identified that the defect rate detection after installing this technology was it improved 40%, as well as the human inspection time it reduced by 50%, because humans did not had to just manually do the inspection. They were collaborating with the AI and making the inspection time faster. Improved product quality and consistency. As you are utilizing more and more data and do real time adjustments, it does lead to better quality consistency, batch to batch, or even plant to plant. Improving patient safety. uh, Digital twins, as they are used to monitor your devices while they are in use in the field, they you can take better actions as you notice medical device malfunctioning, and you can either issue a service, or you can either issue an error to convert to the traditional surgical procedure. Enhance compliance with regulatory standards. FDA has come up with a new research paper that they have published, where they themselves are motivating the industry to start using AI for quality and manufacturing, because that means that we are able to be in better control of our processes using these tools. Continuous improvement of QA processes, as you, like quality is the quality uses a lot of data monitoring, like from historical uh, practices. uh, it's now that with the advent of AI, you can just increase the scale of the data and have statistical tools or softwares that will help you into monitoring this data. So continuous improvement will definitely be much more realistic, or much more value added with the use of AI. Reduction in production cost, as companies move away from physical prototypes and invest in virtual simulations, they save a lot on the cost for development. Improved scalability and flexibility. uh, Alcon utilizes digital twins to scale up the production designs effectively. So what this means is when you create a new product development, uh, the process that you utilize for low volume is significantly different than the process that you have to utilize for high volume. But when you have a lot of data that you are using for other high volume processes and other designs, you can use the learnings from that to scale up your new designs and have less defects early on. Jumping into the pharmaceuticals integration, I'll just quickly check on the time. I think we have some time. So jumping into pharmaceutical integration, the main benefit here is drug discovery and development. A lot of companies like Pfizer and Moderna, they are using these tools even before this term was highlighted in the industry. They have been using this to even create the vaccines that were currently recently used for during COVID. Personalized medicines with such a large scale data availability as well as the mechanism to process that data and various advanced computational models, it's possible to use all of that and cater personalized medicine or personalized solutions depending on either the DNA of the patient or a lifestyle of a patient. Predictive maintenance and equipment monitoring. So pharmaceuticals are slightly different than medical devices in terms of predictive maintenance. The manufacturing processes that are used in pharmaceuticals uses very highly capital equipments, very heavy capital equipments. Excuse me. So a lot of data is available. However, that was not captured until now. But now with the advent of IoT sensors, which are much more affordable, a lot of companies are integrating this sensors and utilizing that data to predict equipment failures, even in a dynamic sense rather than a static sense. Even for the servicing or the maintenance of the manufacturing equipment, the industry has been utilizing the static models till now. Either it fails and you replace, or either you replace it after a few cycles. But now, using the sensors and the data, the companies are being more dynamic and predicting when the failure would happen and optimizing the maintenance schedules. Novartis is a great example of this, where they are utilizing Amazon AWS services for these purposes. Supply chain optimization, just like medical devices, pharmaceuticals also has a very complex supply chain to realize the end product and to make sure that any risks of disruptions are controlled at the source. Certain tools like digital twin supply chain, digital twin for supply chain, such tools are revolutionizing this area of the industry as well. Accelerating clinical trials and regulatory approvals. Again, this is the same case as medical devices, where instead of utilizing physical product, you can utilize simulations. However, here, since it's directly, most of the pharmaceutical product is directly uh, in contact with the patient's body, you you might have to be very cautious on what you are physically testing versus what you are simulating. However, like, you can increase the frequency of testing by using simulation and reduce the number of physical testing, but you might still need some level of physical testing on these products. Quality assurance in pharmaceuticals. So as we discussed, for medical devices, a lot of visual inspection tools are being used or repurposed for increasing the inspection throughput. And one such example is Merck. Merck has applied AI to their vaccine vial inspection, and they leverage machine learning models on the images, and those models going through these images, and then they create automated inspection to reduce the false rejects. So false rejects are the ones where the good vials are incorrectly thrown out. That increases the yield of the manufacturing process. Data driven decision making, one such example here is Pfizer. As I mentioned during the medical devices data driven decision making, Pfizer is it has created its own platform using AI and generative models to analyze manufacturing data. And utilizing such vast amount of data, they have identified the golden batch that has the ideal process parameters, and it's in it's making it consistent across the batches. So it's helping to improve the manufacturing throughput, and per AWS it's as significant as 20%, which is a lot. Utilizing such tools and improving on the throughput as well as reducing defects is definitely revolutionizing. Like, a lot of these big players are already uh, improving in it, but like if if the other or the larger industry doesn't take part in it, they will just be left behind, because this is changing at a pace where no one will be able to catch up in let's say 3 to 4 years of time without starting to implement this immediately. The benefits of using AI in the pharmaceutical industry, again, efficiency and productivity, as stated here. During the COVID-19 pandemic, Pfizer had used these tools to make sure that they can manufacture the vaccines in just 269 days versus the typical time that takes 8 to 10 years. That's just a huge improvement compared from traditional to the AI powered solution. Increased accuracy and precision. A lot of the pharmaceutical ingredients are APIs, and to make sure that the formulations are optimized, you can utilize such tools which can take into account all the data from historical sources and come up with that golden batch. Early detection of defects and anomalies, as AI uses real-time inspection. This is just another benefit. Improved product quality. AWS has reported that Moderna is also utilizing AI tools for quality control. As we discussed, like, quality control is significantly database. We traditionally we have been managing a lot of data through control charts, through CPK studies, or through gauge RNR and so on. So Moderna has revolutionized that. They have integrated their data collection sensors into their process, and using that data they have dynamic quality control charts, which are helping them accelerate production as well as logistics. Improving patient safety and product reliability. Simulation tools are at the at the are providing a lot of value where validation or verification is needed. Enhance compliance with regulatory standards. One of the statistic here is, and this has been like shared by McKinsey, where utilizing such AI tools in QC for pharma industry has over 65% reduction in deviation, and whatever deviation happened, there was greater than 90% faster deviation closure time. So all of this points to like increased efficiency, as well as providing real-time release of batches. Reduction in production costs. As you integrate AI, you optimize a lot of things, and one such use case was where one company optimized the energy consumption that was being utilized in drug manufacturing, and that way they had reduction in production cost. Improved scalability and flexibility. Here again, another statistic from McKinsey, where the companies who are embracing Industry 4.0, they could reduce the QC lab lead time by as much as 60 to 70%, because most of your inspection would happen real time, and only certain tests, such as what is destructive test, where you need the full product available, that's where you would have to do as part of your QC activities. Everything else would already be done as you manufacture the product. I'll just quickly check on the time. I think we just have 20 minutes, so I'll move quickly, and then we can cover some questions. So the challenges that we are facing, or the companies are facing in the implementation of AI, the first and the foremost challenge is high capital investment. A lot of this tools are very very costly tools, and that's why the industry leaders are able to implement that immediately, whereas for the small and medium enterprises, there is a lot of debate going on for the cost benefit analysis to make sure that the cost of implementing will be realized in a few years, right? So why do we need high cost of investment? It's because you need a new infrastructure, you need the technology, as well as the workforce need to be either be trained, or you need to hire people with certain specific skills. Data quality and availability, as we all know, we are in quality or manufacturing, that data is the key. Data is has been given a lot of importance from several decades. However, still we were struggling to collect the right amount and the quality of data that's needed. However, with the advent of such affordable sensors and other IoT technologies, we are able to capture real-time data and process it. So to make sure that AI tools are giving you the right results, you need to provide the proper quality of data to the AI tools. There is a great term that is being used in the context of AI, is if you put in garbage, garbage will be out. So to make sure that that's not a case for your company, you need to invest in data generation or data recording devices and amenities, as well as you need to make sure whatever data you are collecting is of good quality and is harmonizing across all sources. Another major challenge on that is creating a lot of problem is integrating with existing systems. A lot of the companies have legacy systems, be it the ERP, MRP, or QMS systems, that are not ideally very open or flexible to be integrated into such newer tools, and that's overhauling this such systems is very costly and time intensive. Interpretability of AI models. AI models are considered black boxes, as you cannot predict what is uh, being performed within the analysis. All you can get is all you control is the input, and all you get is the output. So that's why the explainable AI tools and robust validation frameworks are required. FDA is also pushing for it to make sure that wherever we are using AI tools, there is a level of trust built into it. Data security and privacy concerns. This industries work with the patient data, so and they are governed by several regulations and need to be compliant with HIPAA, and that's why it's also a challenge for companies. Compliance with industry standards and regulations. Regulatory uncertainty is also a significant barrier. However, currently the regulatory agencies have stepped up and started providing some initial guidance into this. However, there is a long way to go forward regarding this. Bias. This is a huge challenge while you are implementing any AI AI tool. With your experience with LLMs, you would have noticed that a certain question provided to a certain uh, LLM would have a certain bias against the same question provided to some other LLM. So and that's dependent basically mainly on the 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 quality of the data that you have provided. If you provide incomplete data or skewed training data, that's what will be the end result. So bias is also a huge challenge. Decision making accountability. So if we are over reliant on AI, and if AI makes a bad recommendation, somebody needs to be hold accountable. It cannot be AI. So human oversight is very much important wherever AI tools are deployed. Workforce training and skill development. Um, the experts needed in computational modeling is very scarce in healthcare sector, as well as the developers particularly in silico clinical trials are very scarce. So as this tools get implemented more and more in this industry, there will be a lot of demand for certain skill sets types of professionals. Job displacement, so this is a huge issue as well. And what companies needs to start doing is everyone is aware that AI is here, and I think the workforce is as much excited as well to increase their skill sets or to adapt with the wave. So companies needs to start creating targeted training for the workforce, so that the workforce can be upgraded and not displaced. Resistance to change and adoption barriers. So with any organization, there is a culture that sometimes is resistant. However, the organization that will be much more flexible and will be adopting this will be able to take the lead position in their respective industry and come out as a winner. And so companies needs to be open to change. The future trends and development, mainly it's the innovation and advancements. Advanced computing power and AI will definitely create significant shifts in such industries. And large amount of data will be collected going forward, and it will just be optimizing the QA and manufacturing processes as well as the product development processes as we go forward. Evolution of smart manufacturing ecosystems. So this is the main uh, hope of the manufacturing ecosystem, where uh, smart smart factories are realized. Excuse me. A certain um, section of manufacturers around the world have already invested excuse me, have already invested in this, and they are really realizing the benefits of it. However, if companies needs to be competitive, they have to start investing in smart manufacturing, and that is the future trend. Although quality 4.0 and industry 4.0 are being discussed right now, there is already discussions about moving to quality 5.0 and industry 5.0, which basically talks about collaboration and not replacement. So collaboration is when you you optimize the use of AI as well as you optimize the skill sets of human, and integrating both of them, how you can achieve the best benefits for a certain process. So that's the future. And future regulatory landscapes and compliance requirements. So as I mentioned, these are heavily regulated industries, and FDA is taking a lead here and providing some initial guidance. They have created an emerging technology program to work with companies implementing advanced manufacturing, as well as FDA has already approved a lot of medical devices that are utilizing AI for either monitoring or providing better solutions to their customers. Also, FDA is weighing on to creation of good machine learning practices principle that will help provide more guidance going forward. So that was a lot of information. Sorry, I was a little rushy, but I had to cover a lot, so I appreciate all of your patience, and I can take questions now. And this is a barcode for a link to my paper. I have written a paper for based on for this. So if you want to go and read that, please feel free to scan this, or I can share that after this session.
Thank you so much, Priyank. And on behalf of ASQ Innovation TC, we're so grateful for your discussion with us tonight. Yes, we have some questions for you, please. The first one would be, they want to understand, can you share with us the countries that are currently integrating AI into devices and pharma? Is there like a top 3 or top 5, Priyank, that you're seeing?
So I would say like US itself is leading in this space. Like I work in the medical device industry, and every day I follow a lot of companies that are either launching new devices which are integrating AI, or they are like optimizing their internal processes using AI to make sure that the products are safe and they can reduce the development time. So I would say US is leading.
Thank you. Thank you, Priyank. Okay, the next question is, you mentioned the use of AI with regard to auditing and inspection. This question has to do with kind of creating the supporting documents, policies, SOPs, batch records. Are you seeing a lot of AI being used there?
So definitely, like I think as I shared in a lot of the pharmaceutical industries, I think the major players have already created their own AI tools because they can. Not all the small and medium enterprises can create their own tools. So there is a huge debate going on, like whether such organization can trust existing tools as data is proprietary, and sharing the data with a tool through cloud, that is definitely a huge concern. But as we are moving forward, a lot of uh, improvements are being made on the controls that are securing the data, and a lot of tools are being deployed locally, where your data stays locally or in a data center where which you all have already been trusting, and you just utilize the tool or the model to improvise on your processes. So yeah.
Thank you. Yes, I love it. Thank you, Priyank. Yes. So they want to know, uh, are there any challenges that you've encountered or your case studies with AI hallucinations in this area or false positives?
Yes, yes. So AI does have to improve a lot. Like the large language models, you can't trust it blindly. They are getting better day by day. However, hallucination is a real problem, just like bias is. However, the way the major companies are using these AI tools are, they are creating like machine learning models and utilizing the AI models within so it's like a more of a focused tool rather than as large as a large language model. So if you are using a large language model, like you need to make sure that AI is giving you the right information. But there are certain tools available which are task specific, and I think the industry is also moving towards something called as agentic AI, where you will have very focused agents acting as, or very small AIs focusing and working as agents, and they will have a very focused task. So that's the future.
Thank you, thank you, Priyank. Okay, the last one is, when using AI tools, can you ask it to generate documentation on how it came to the results, i.e. explain what's in the black box?
So that's a good question. That I don't think we have those mechanisms. At least I don't know about those mechanisms. As we mentioned, right? Like AI is a black box in itself, so you don't know uh, what they are thinking. You just give it an input and you can get an output. The only thing you can do is you can optimize the input in such a manner that you get the best output out of it. And that's where I think prompt engineering is taking a lot of highlight right now, and it's providing value where you learn how to give the right prompt for the large language models to give you the optimized result.
Thank you. Yes, Priyank. And yes, to that person who asked it, this is Hanuman Bull. There is some aspects in some AI tools where you can basically turn on logging and it will basically take you through its logical sequences of what it's doing. So you'll get some indication of that as well. Okay, we have maybe a couple more. I think we have a couple minutes left, Priyank. So when, say an organization is rather new to AI and they want to implement it within their quality assurance or their manufacturing processes, could you advise them, like, what's some of the first key steps they should take to thinking this through, planning and implementing, please, Priyank?
Yep. Like my personal thoughts there are based on what I have learned is I think you need to identify the right tool. First of all, there are several tools available right now, and picking the right tool, that's very much critical because as we were mentioning, there is a lot of concern in data sharing and privacy policies. So you need to pick up the tool which has the best controls available with there are several certifications available as well for to prove that whatever tool is available in the market is it trustable or not. So I would like do some research there and make sure that you are picking the right tool will which will handle your data very securely. And then once you identify the tool, I think that's when you need to make sure that your current processes that you have in your QMS can be integrated to that tool, because not all your existing systems will be much flexible to be integrated to that tool. So you need to also keep that in mind, like what tool provides what support. So those are some of the things that I would think when selecting a new tool for my organization.
Thank you, Priyank. So the last question before we move to the final wrap up, and when you think about the emerging AI technology space, what's the one next big challenge that you foresee it taking on? Like, is there something they can't do yet that will really help kind of advance the state of manufacturing and or assurance or production in the future of medical device and or pharmaceutical manufacturing?
So I think the most promising thing to me for the future of emerging technology in this industry is definitely agentic AI, which is heavily discussed currently. It's a very popular concept right now, where like you will have several agents at your mercy, which you can utilize to improve your productivity. I think it's your job now to be more aware about such tools and upskill yourself to make sure that you are at the forefront of this revolution and you are able to use such tools and uh, add more value to your work.
Thank you. Thank you, Priyank. Well, thank you again for being our wonderful guest speaker tonight. We are so grateful. I'm just going to share our closing deck and invite our wonderful healthcare representative as well. So April, if you would like to come off of mute, we can thank Priyank together. There we go. So yes, just April, let's welcome Miss April Thomas. She is our representative from our healthcare division, also supporting this joint webinar with Mr. Priyank Patel, the innovation technical community and the healthcare. April, would you like to address our members with anything?
Yeah, so thank you everybody so much for taking time out of your afternoon or evening or day, depending on where you may be joining us from. We're really grateful and excited that you were able to participate and hopefully have some new information to be able to think about. Also want to thank Priyank for presenting and the Innovation Division for allowing the Healthcare Division to be a joint sponsor for this. One of the questions, Rhonda, that did come up is, will the Innovation Division be sending out RU certificates for those who attended?
Thank you. Yes. So we always love if Priyank will share his presentation with us. Thank you. Yes. So at the end of this, we usually will give you a link to the deck. We'll give you a link to our upcoming events. We'll give you a link to the certification, and then we'll give you a link to our survey. So you can give Priyank 10 stars with regard to his wonderful presentation tonight. Yes. And so we are very grateful for the Healthcare Division for partnering with us. We're very grateful for Priyank. If you did not hear all of his bio in the beginning, you know, he has a phenomenal background with a wide range of applications of AI and experience across this key space. He has a master's in mechanical engineering. He is also a certified quality engineer, is a leader in the ASQ Pittsburgh section, and is the Supplier Division Education Co-Chair. And he works on the TAG 69 and TAG 176 Standards Committee. So you have a very well-rounded, well-polished diamond of a leader in Priyank Patel. So thank you so much, sir, for being here and sharing all of your expertise with us.
Thank you for
The next thing Thank you. The next thing we'd like to do is just thank our ASQ Innovation Technical Community officers for making these webinars possible. Mr. Tracy Owens, Miss Jackie Jolly, Miss Sonia Montero, Miss Rebecca Mott, and Mr. Larry Miller. They are always looking for phenomenal teams. So if you have an interest in that, this deck will be going out afterwards. You can click on volunteer survey, and I know they would love to have you on their team for 2025 and beyond. And last but not least, we invite you to join us at our upcoming sessions where we will be talking about designing and implementing an agency-wide continuous improvement program with Mr. Jarrett Perlow. That is a joint with our ASQ Government Division. We will be talking with Magnus Verratti, who will be presenting on how to think of a QMS in the digital environment. If you have not yet signed up for WCQI 2025, it was being held in Denver, Colorado in the beginning of May. And then we also have Miss Melissa Sherman, post WCQI, presenting on what's in it for me. Why should I get behind your continuous improvement lean journey? So we have a full lineup coming into this almost second quarter of 2025. We're so grateful for your attendance here tonight. We love to hear your discussions. And so we'll send out the link to our My ASQ Innovation Technical Community discussion, where we can engage on a couple questions that you all asked Priyank and ask any additional or explore any additional topics that arise between now and then. Again, on behalf of ASQ Innovation TC and our ASQ Healthcare Division counterparts, and of course, our wonderful speaker, Priyank Patel, we thank you for being here tonight, and we welcome you back at our next future event. Good night, everybody, and we look forward to seeing you again soon.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.